Check it. For the record, we break it down. Business podcast, we run this town. From entrepreneurs to investors, we in this.
Welcome back to another episode of For the Record. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Hope.
Hey, what about keeping the main thing the main thing? A lot of time businesses struggle with that.
That almost sounded like you were saying a side piece versus the main lady.
Hey, that's what it is. Think about it. Sometimes we as business owners open a business and then try to expand or extend ourselves vertically too quickly, which means offering extra stuff. And we're not ready to do that.
Yes, I there's a particular topic I would like to bring up, which is food, but we'll get to that later. Let's talk about some companies that has been doing this for years. Some succeeded, some failed, some didn't. Some learned and are still in the market.
Yep.
But we were talking about the examples like Campbell's Soup.
Yeah.
Okay, they've been around before we knew it growing up, right? We
grew up on it.
Did you ever see Campbell's Soup do anything other than soup?
I can't think of anything else. I know the company may have a diverse portfolio, but as far as they're known for soup.
Period. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Companies who we know when they first came out, we knew what they stood for, and now some of them are shifting, they're adding.
Yeah.
A lot of them are leaving the market because, as we said, their main thing no longer was their main. They got a side chick.
They got a side
chick.
One example of that ended in failure was Colgate.
Okay.
What does Colgate do?
Toothpaste. That's all I know.
Well, that's not all they tried to do.
And there's a college, I think, in New York City called Colgate.
But yeah, that's not associated with the toothpaste company. But in the 80s, Colgate had this bright idea to want to extend into the ready food market. So Colgate, the food people. Yes.
Okay.
So they wanted to offer beef lasagna, like what is it called? TV dinners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, beef lasagna. So
Colgate.
Yeah.
So when I opened it and I sat down as a consumer, my brain's gonna say this tastes like toothpaste.
Exactly, probably so. Again, the consumers kind of dictate what you can sell to them. They do.
We are so we're both entrepreneurs and we're consumer. And as a consumer, I don't want Colgate, my toothpaste company, or a toothpaste company making my food.
No.
Because again, I'm going to open it and eat it and say this tastes like toothpaste.
Exactly. And then you have other examples where companies like Apple, for instance.
One of my favorite companies.
Yeah, one of my favorite companies. Of course, we're in the Apple ecosystem. But one thing Steve Jobs did under, I believe, his second term is he started cutting a lot of those products because they was, I guess, trying to expand and started offering all kind of things. So he slashed it, what they offered, so they can be more minimal. And they're making the main thing the main thing. I mean, the iPhone is incredible. The iPad,
one every year.
Exactly. The computers,
the watches. What else they got? iPads, computers, desktops. Isn't Apple coming out with like some shades you can put on and hear your music?
Yeah.
So it took time to
roll those things out
and come to not that they were never in the digital space, but to upgrade and add new products.
Yeah, but what if Apple said now we're into, let's say, food as well, or making coffee.
You're into oranges.
Orange juice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, what we know them for is our electronic products, the computers, the cell phones and whatnot. So it would not make sense.
But what I did like, what they did over the last several years is they're into digital video.
Oh, of course, and music.
Apple TV, have Apple Music, but that's still in their digital space.
Exactly.
And we have to make sure as business entrepreneurs that if we're going to expand, we stay in that space and still don't do it so quickly.
Yep.
Because how long has Apple Music and Apple TV really been around? I mean, it's probably 10 years, but the popularity is now growing.
Exactly. Now, Starbucks can do that. Did you know, not Starbucks, I'm sorry, Apple can do that, but Starbucks tried to do it as well.
I heard when we were researching, because that's what you have to do when you're giving people information, you want to make sure it's proper and it's facts, that they tried to do music in movies.
Yeah.
Starbucks?
Right. And that didn't work out well for them either.
Oh, hold on. Think of the name though. If they did movie stars and bucks, would make sense.
Hey,
And maybe that's what they were thinking.
Yeah.
But everybody knows them for
Coffee.
Starbucks coffee, not
Exactly.
movies,
Not music, not movies. That's just not it don't go together. You know what I mean? It does not.
Let me ask you this question since we're talking about keeping the main thing. When we talk about major companies, chains, is it okay for them to franchise then? We're not going to get into that, but if you want to keep your main product, you know how you want it to come out to your consumers.
Right.
Couldn't franchising play a role?
It could.
Franchisees
I get what you're saying.
When they mess up your brand.
Oh, yep, definitely. Because
you got to be careful.
Remember, we talked about food a little bit. Well, you mentioned it. So one of our favorite restaurants we go to.
Yeah.
Right. It's a vegan restaurant, and it's the only one. Right.
It's the only full service.
Yeah.
Vegan restaurant in Orlando.
Yes.
And they're always consistent.
They got consistent hours.
Yes. Consistent food.
Yeah, consistent food, the menu. Now, let's say, for instance,
another restaurant that we like to frequent, it's a vegan restaurant. It's not as big, but we started off with them when they first came out, but they started scaling with adding classes and what you call take-home food, and the quality of the food went down.
It went down tremendously.
But the prices went up.
The prices went up, and the portion sizes went down. Now, this is the second one we used to frequent a lot too.
And now we no longer as consumers because they lost the standard of the brand they first started out with.
Yeah, because at first it was all food. But then you extend it into, hey, come and let's, come here for these classes, book clubs.
Learn to cook.
Yeah, which is fine. You can teach people to cook, but keep the main thing, and that's when you suffer with your consumers because the food don't taste the same. And
we're not the only ones that stopped going there. There's a lot of people that stopped. And now, again, we have to remember that when we start out in a particular field, it's okay to start there and eventually move on or eventually add something else, but make sure that main product is taking off, that people understand your concept, they understand your brand, right? Before you start adding other things. Because when we talk about BlackBerry, you remember BlackBerry?
Oh yeah, everybody wanted one of those little BlackBerry.
Everybody wanted BlackBerry, and especially if you was in business, you were just cool with your little BlackBerry.
Yep.
I never really liked it. It was a little complicated, but what happened with BlackBerry? Very quickly, they were out of the race. And why is that?
Because of innovation change. I mean, they really couldn't. I don't know if they could keep up with the market because BlackBerry was a specific phone, just like the Nextel little chirp phone. Remember that?
I remember Nextel.
I used to love that phone.
Oh my gosh!
But that went away. I thought that was the way of the future.
I thought BlackBerry would stay around, but when I did my research on BlackBerry, what happened was they tried to add more features to their phone and different apps, and their users were not happy with that because, again, most of the people that used BlackBerry then were business people. So now you're saying I got to do this to add that. It took away their familiarity with their product, and so they went under very quickly. So sometimes you can't add to your product either.
No, you remember a company when I think it was on Facebook, and I believe it was only on Facebook, but it's called Zynga, and they like do games, digital games. They're behind like the games Farmville, Candy Crush. You ever played Candy Crush? There's some other ones. But
I know what Candy Crush is everywhere.
Yeah, but it's no longer everywhere because they were one of the first, I guess, on like social media to offer those types of games.
Okay, what happened?
What happened was the market changed. Now you got all these other games that come online, and they really just stayed the same. They didn't add
games
quickly enough. This was, I think, back in 2015 that they started seeing their demise. Because at one point, everybody was playing this Candy Crush. I think we used to play it a lot, too.
It was another one, but I know what you're talking about. We played, like, Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, that right there. Yeah, those.
That was them?
Yeah, Zynga.
Oh, so now they're gone.
Well, they're still around, but it's not like they had expanded to. They had built this $100 million facility because they thought it was gonna. They thought they were gonna. Blow up in this industry.
$100 million facility to produce games.
To produce games, yes, but quickly again. Now that was an example of them moving kind of too slow because other things were coming out.
Why you think?
I thought maybe because they felt like they had the market on lock. Sometimes we can be that arrogant.
Arrogancy. I don't know if it's just an arrogancy. I think a lot of people were not expecting AI to come and change the world so quickly.
That too.
We didn't have a forecast.
Yeah, no.
We couldn't. None of us could foresee what's happening now. I mean, even the movie industry is being changed. They don't even know what to do.
No,
because
Sora.
Yeah, because we regular people at home can create a movie with certain apps. So
that's true.
I think that's what happened with a lot of these companies as well.
Blockbuster. Remember, everybody loved Blockbuster.
I miss Blockbuster. I miss the experience of Blockbuster.
Me too. I used to love it.
Yeah, you go in, remember you go to the and you get to pick out your movies and you go get your popcorn. Man, they should bring Blockbuster back.
Yeah, but the thing is, those were tapes, but now it's digital. That's what happened to Blockbuster, Netflix, and companies like Netflix.
They tried to go digital. Remember, they went to DVDs.
Yep.
And then they went to, was it Soul?
Oh yeah. That's what is it called? Blu-ray disc.
Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And then that they couldn't keep up anymore. No. Then Redbox came out.
Oh boy, yeah.
Then after Redbox, Netflix came out, and now we have so many different platforms. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. But I just want to say thank you for bringing that up. Bring back Blockbuster.
But in that space, in the digital tech space, it's kind of hard to not expand, to not try to, offer different offerings.
Yeah, because it's digital. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Send a link, do a QR code, log in somewhere. We better make sure that we are staying on top of keeping our main thing, the main thing. And what is our main thing here at The Boss?
We do video production, podcasts, anything in that realm. But for us, go ahead.
Some people ask us, do we do lighting? Some people ask us, do we do photography? And it does. We don't. That's not our specialty. Do we have cameras? Have we taken photographs?
Yeah, take a lot of photos.
Yeah. Do we know how to set up lights and stuff?
Yes.
But that's not our specialty. So we are very honest, and we tell people we can outsource that. We can help you find someone, because we do not want to mess up our brand. And then someone says, oh, what about The Boss Move? Oh, they said they do photography.
Yeah.
And
you see these pictures?
Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep our main thing the main thing.
Exactly.
We know videography like it's no one's business. We know podcasting like it's no one's business. And that's where we're going to stay.
Yeah, because that would be silly of us to do so. Like you said, word of mouth, like, who took these pictures? They showed the picture. I mean, I'm not saying I take horrible pictures, but some people will like finicky like that.
And you know what a photographer's photo look like.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how to use the flash photography. I'm looking at when they were at our studio. I was looking at the photographers, and they had like flash photography. Taking pictures and
stuff.
And
they hold the thing up.
Yep.
What is that even for?
I mean, I know what it's for.
I know you do.
Yeah, but I'm not comfortable with nothing like that, so I stay in my lane. We're a video production company. We're not offering automotive repair.
No, not at all.
That would be different.
Cooking classes either.
But but we do want to offer classes for people to learn production, video production. But keeping the main thing is what a lot of businesses lack these days, and find themselves spending money.
Yeah, let's not even forget about Yahoo.
Oh,
I had a Yahoo account for ages.
Yeah.
I used to love Yahoo, and now they're pretty much no more. If somebody try to send me an email from a Yahoo, I'm not clicking on it.
I don't remember buying.
What happened is they didn't scale fast enough. They didn't expand their search engine fast enough. So who came in and swallowed them up?
Google. Yeah, ABC Corporation.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah.
And see, sometimes you have different issues that come on when you're doing podcasts. We don't know if y'all heard the doorbell.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's business. We're going to keep going. Let's talk about what you should do if you want to scale. Is there a some steps to take. Like,
Yeah.
you just jump out there. Okay, here's my product. Oh, it's doing good. Now I'm gonna start doing. Because you said earlier about a class. Are we gonna start doing classes like this year?
Well, not this year, see, but we have that in the pipeline. You know, that's the thing. We have to test the market. We have to make sure that we're ready for that.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
we may not be ready for that. Because right now, the way our schedule is, keeping up with 3 podcasts, potentially more, is tedious enough, right?
Right.
Now we want to offer classes, especially to teen youth, to come out and learn. But we want to make sure we plan it properly, because when they do come out, we want to make sure the classes are valuable to them.
Right.
Right.
That they leave knowing what to do in
Right.
the videography space.
Exactly.
And even though we have a business plan, we have the classes laid out, everything is ready. We're not going to say, all right, guess what? Now the boss move is doing classes. And no, because we know, we understand from experience that in the market, you don't just add stuff so quickly.
No.
We cannot add another discipline, another auxiliary, another department under the boss move when we have not yet reached the masses.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? We want people to know who we are first as a videography company. Then we can offer educational tools.
And I see so many entrepreneurs that have businesses that they're all over the place. I mean, all over the place. One day, I'm serious. I mean, it's if you and in order to stay focused, you know, and perfect what your why I started the boss move, why I started XYZ, why I started whatever, you have to really zero in on it. And before expanding to anything else. And like we were talking about restaurants earlier. You know, some restaurants you show up, they have this menu this day.
Yeah.
Then they have something else this day. Then they out. Or they don't have a consistent staff.
Yep.
You know, the food tastes different. The hours,
consistent.
all those things.
And as a consumer, that could be very frustrating. I come to you for a service you said you were going to provide. Now, let's talk about that. Let's dig into that with companies like McDonald's and Nike. I mean, look at Nike. Nike has not changed.
Consistent. No.
Does Nike do food?
No, they don't do food.
Nike does sneakers and apparel.
I'm trying to think anything else. No.
This episode of For the Record is brought to you by the Boss Move Studios, your content concierge.
I even saw
A celebrity.
last week some dude had on some British Knights. Remember those shoes?
Yo, BK.
Yeah, BKs. I guess they coming back. I guess you can order some on Amazon.
Oh, I'm going to get me some because I loved me some BKs back in the day.
But they went away because, you know, and your point with Nike, strong brand, consistent. They advertise, but I mean, you're going to buy it regardless.
Period.
Because when we think of sneakers, Nike.
That's the first thing that come to my mind, Nike. You see that swoosh?
Yep.
They have their product brand is so well known that all you have to see is a swish.
You know what it is.
You know what it is because they have clothing that don't even have their name on it anymore. Just a swish.
Just a swish. And the same thing with companies like McDonald's as well. We know them because of the French fry M, right?
Right.
What if they change that font to a font like what's a font? Arial black font that just with an M.
I think that would kill their brand just from changing the logo. I think people would be like, what is happening? Because branding and keeping your main thing the main thing is also a psychological.
It is.
You have to understand that in the business market. It's a psychological thing. Again, we come out, we're the boss move, we do video productions, and then next week, hey, we're the boss move. We got a food truck. Come visit us.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're the boss move.
What else you got?
Okay, we're the boss move. Come over here. We got detail your car. Put that armor all on.
You making all these moves at the boss move.
Nah.
You come get your hair done. Like they're gonna be like, who are these people?
Who are you? You're confusing me.
You're confusing us.
Yes.
And we have to be careful not to do that in business.
Yeah.
You can't.
The consumer, they're just not buying it.
They run the market.
They run the market.
But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying when you want to do these different offerings, maybe you roll out like kind of slow.
Yes.
You know,
test.
Do a test. Yeah, test the market. Are you ready for this from me? You know?
And don't ask family and friends. When we say test the market, people close to you, don't ask them, because either they're going to be for you or against you, going to be biased. But go into your community and drop off a few samples and see what type of feedback you get through. But I got some positive here. Another positive.
What's that?
Nike. In-N-Out Burger.
Oh,
in Florida.
Not in Florida.
But I think we experienced them in
We're in California.
California.
Yeah.
In Texas too? Were they in Texas? I was checking the box.
I don't know.
So In-N-Out Burger is still afloat after so many years. Why? Because they only have a few items. They haven't added anything. I think they have maybe 10 if it's that much.
Right.
And they refuse to add, and people add, and they like, nope. Because our customers know that every time they come get our menu is going to be the same.
Yeah.
So unlike other companies, it looks like Burger King is going down.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know what's going on, but In-N-Out Burger has not left mainstream. They are doing great.
Yeah, and to that point, remember watching Chef Ramsay when he go in and revamp the restaurants, and like some of these restaurants have this huge menu. Like he's like
Cheesecake Factory.
But hey, I saw something on Cheesecake Factory and how they're able to cook that many items. So
tell the people, because
I haven't read it yet. We're gonna bring that to you next time. But the way they're able to cook it, they have it down. So we've been there before. We was like, okay, it's pretty good. But what Chef Ramsay did with going into these restaurants and slashing the menu, because you can't cook all these things, you know, for the crowd or for your consumers on a consistent basis, right?
Especially now, when after the pandemic, not even people are showing up to work. So how are you giving a consistent menu of 30 items in your restaurant?
Yeah, that's too many. Focus on a few and perfect those things and make them good.
Yes.
But to your point on that franchising, like say for instance that vegan restaurant that we did, like expanded to 3 more restaurants, right? In
the state that it's in now?
And it's not in the best state right now, like shape is what we're saying, because let's say they had 3 more restaurants. For one, the quality would not be consistent.
Exactly.
I don't know many restaurants that can do that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you may go to one, let's say Olive Garden here in Orlando. Then you may go to one in Daytona. Food don't taste the same.
It doesn't. And I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Because it's franchised.
Yeah.
So they get to use different products, whatever fits their budget.
And it's also hard to keep workers.
Staff,
like you said, since the pandemic, a lot of people choosing not to go back to work. You know?
And if you're talking about preparation of food specifically, that's going to cause an issue in your product line, unless you're like Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
And Dwayne got me so excited. I want to see how they do.
Yeah, they do too.
Because now you bring up that. Let's talk about Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
What do you
glad
think
you
is about to happen with
I'm glad.
Chick-fil-A?
Now that was another company that people say their customer service is great.
Yes.
Their product, we love their chicken. We don't eat chicken, but you see what they had put
just
last week or week ago, this backlash about these antibiotics in their chicken, because they said there will never be antibiotics in our chicken.
And now we're going to give it a little bit
Antibiotics.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So don't be mad. Our customer service is still on point.
Yeah, but
What do you think that's going to do to consumers?
people, they're not having it. I mean, you tell us one thing and then you switch.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's just like what we've been talking about all this time.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A been around for years. Everybody loves some Chick-fil-A, don't they?
Yeah, they do. The line is wrapped around the corner.
It's going to be wrapped. And now all of a sudden, you tell your consumers, we're going to change the very product that keeps the lines wrapped around the building.
Yep.
I am going to, just for you all, there's a couple in our area. I'm going to drive by a few times. I'm going to take 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Because it just came out.
Right.
And I'm going to get some photographs at lunchtime because that's when it's normally packed, and see if the lines have gone down.
I don't know. Oh, that's a good
I just want to see
experiment to do.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah,
because we're talking about it, and we have ads. Let's just do it to see, because I don't know how well Chick-fil-A is going to stay afloat. You changed those people chicken.
They're going to stay afloat. For one, they took a stance on their Sunday. They take off their Sunday.
Okay.
But I'm not saying you're wrong at all, because some people I'm not going back because if antibiotics are now in this chicken, I don't want to take that chance. You know what I mean? They're not.
And it's a health conscious world right now. Everybody's worried about what they put in their body. And again, I'm excited or passionate because it's Chick-fil-A. Like, we go there to get fries. They're so good.
The fries. Now, we'll see what happened with Budweiser. Was it Bud Light when they tried to get woke?
Yeah.
You know, and was it off of that transgender?
Yeah, don't be woke.
You see what happened.
Awake.
That's it.
If you woke, that means you have fell asleep.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
stay awake.
they kind of like angered their core audience by, I mean, whoever these executives are in those companies, which we are executives in our company, we got to think the exact same way.
We have to.
Will this benefit us, our company, if we offer this?
Yes.
How would our consumers look at us if we change our, because you're changing your brand.
You are. When you introduce what Budweiser did, when you're saying this is who we are now.
Yeah.
You're not saying this is also who we are. You're saying this is who we are now because you brought in a new face. And that's what people have to understand. You're not just adding a product. You brought in a new
face.
So you're saying this is the
controversial face at that.
Exactly. So now you're saying this is the face of Budweiser. Now, we're not going to get into the politics of it, but most people know that Budweiser is a beer for men going to drink it. It's for the games, and all of a sudden,
Hey, you
bring in this guy, right? Who, I will leave that alone. But Budweiser made a big mistake.
big boo-boo.
Big mistake.
So what business owners can do, these smaller entrepreneurs, like we are, we're growing. What we should be focusing on is growing our product, our offerings that we offer. Through advertising.
That's right.
That's one thing that I'm not saying people are trying. Right. They're trying everything else, but expanding their business through advertising, through networking, through things like that.
Through branding.
But now you want to offer book clubs and all this night and that night and whatever else it may be. But advertising your business, putting yourself in front of millions of people
on a consistent
basis, showing up consistently.
Yes.
One thing Cat Williams said on that interview with Shannon Sharp was,
I know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. I know they gonna be there. And they know I'm gonna do the best job I can possibly do. And they know beyond a shadow of a doubt, whatever hour he was doing when we last saw him, he won't be doing that hour when we see him this time. It's a whole new conversation. And because I've never strayed from that, they've never strayed from their part.
But what he was saying is that he's going to show up.
And his people know he's coming.
And they know he's coming. And when he's come, he's going to offer them the best product that he has.
I love that. And that's what we are doing, have done, and will continue to do.
Yep.
And sometimes, listen, business people, life. Right? And like, we missed you all last week.
Yep.
Why did we miss you all last week? Because we have another
business.
Business.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we shared this with you all, but Dwayne's family, his father, is the first Black fire sprinkler company in the state of Florida.
Yes.
Fire sprinklers. Shout out to Pop Lee Powell. And so that job called us out of town.
Yep. A kind of last minute.
We
had to reschedule, some podcasts and but we made it happen.
Rickard and the Boss Ladies, right? But we came back and gave you our same product. We didn't go away and come back so we could say, surprise, cakes.
No, but I thought about taking, which we could take the podcast on the road. When I was like, that means I got to take lights. I got to, make sure it's extra stuff. So why not just take some time and offer the product like we offer it every week?
Right. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with doing that.
No, not at all.
We might, but again, just sharing some stuff with you all. Dwayne is going to be on a scaffold. He's going to be hanging pipe and all of that. So I don't know if he's able to do and edit.
I'm doing content while I'm doing that.
See that?
I'm recording. I just haven't put it out yet. But
so we want to make sure that we are staying consistent. And how did you open up? You said make sure the main thing stays the main thing.
That's right.
No side chicks.
No side chicks,
The
nothing.
main entree, not the side dish.
That's right. Because they don't get the attention that they deserve. Anytime you offer something else, the main thing is no longer the main thing.
Gonna suffer.
It will suffer.
Wow. Let's just look at that. It's a relationship.
It is. Your business is your baby.
Yes.
Oh, you're married to that thing.
Marry, and
You
you
know what I
gotta
mean?
make sure it's taken care of.
Yeah.
It has all the necessities and even sometimes the wants, because you're gonna get
Oh,
demands.
yeah.
You're gonna get demands.
And definitely we're not saying you cannot expand, but you have to really do your research, make sure you're ready and your customers are ready.
Right. So we're gonna leave you with this SWOT. I hope I said it right. SWOT, but not with an A. SWOT.
Yep.
Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know your opportunities, and know your threats.
That's it.
Break that down for yourself. Strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats.
Threats.
So as business operators, but we're also consumers, we want to leave you all with this thought. We're not going, I'm just saying, here's a thought. Please stay consistent. So I told Dwayne I had to read. That's why you laughing.
Yeah. Go ahead and say it.
Food, man. Listen, I am a foodie, and I hate it when I go back to a restaurant I love, and it's off, and then I say, all right, they had one bad day, and I go back again, and it's back to the same, and I go back again, and it's off. I'm not, after 4 times, hope it's done.
Done.
And when y'all mess with my food, it makes me sad.
Hey, I concur.
Yeah.
I do. I really do.
Yes.
And I'm upset about, that restaurant that we used to attend.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm, riding the city, there's nothing really for a vegan to eat in certain areas.
In certain areas.
So I'll be like,
In
man,
most areas.
yeah, it's like a food desert. So sometimes I'm like, let me swing by here, and I remember, and this is a conscious decision. The last experience I had, and I was like, nah, I don't want to pay. I think it was like, I had $13, I think, for like a sandwich.
For one
For
sandwich.
one sandwich, that's just a sandwich.
Never that expensive either.
Never that expensive.
Never that expensive.
No.
And here's the thing also. Look, at the other restaurant, they are consistent, but we're not going to say their name, but we just found out they got a F
Yeah.
with the health department.
Yeah.
And so we would never go back there again.
Yeah.
That's consistency too. If you're going to be the
Cleanliness.
only full service vegan restaurant, and can you keep an A? Now we have nowhere to go.
No options.
Because Dwayne is a full vegan. I'm a pescatarian. But come on,
Yeah, man. No options. Scary.
no options. So anybody out there that know of a great plant-based restaurant that's consistent,
Right.
that has consistent hours, please let us know.
Yeah, and most of the times, well, not most of the time, probably we have already been there before.
Right.
Because we've been plant-based since 2012.
2012.
So we just, want some options.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean? But we're not going to go down this path. So you see how we enjoy our food products. So
Yes.
restaurants, we just implore you, please get it right.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah, I want to go back to those companies we talked about: Apple,
Okay.
Starbucks, In-N-Out Burger, Google.
Yeah.
These companies present great business strategies, great business practices, because they are still number one. Even on the NASDAQ, Apple stays
Oh, of course.
positive.
Yeah.
Right? So when we look at that, let's look at their business structure. Business structure model, business owners, and we have to learn from each other.
Yeah.
Why is Apple still doing so great? Because it doesn't change its core products.
And they don't care about charging you either. They're gonna put that price on it, and you're gonna buy it. It's kind of like it's like a moat company. That's what it is. If you know what a moat is, like you have a castle and it's only a little piece of strip to get over to that.
Yeah.
That's what Apple has created with its ecosystem.
Yeah,
You know what I
talk
mean?
about it.
It stands alone. And when you are a company that can stand alone, you're gonna do amazing.
Amazing. I'm gonna say something
What's
funny
that?
because I'm an Apple lover. So there's a AT&T store or something, phone store down the street, and I don't know about you, but it says Apple phones
I saw it.
50% off.
Yeah.
Samsungs are free.
Samsungs are free.
What? Is there Samsung? Is there something going on?
I don't know why Samsung even try to compete with. I mean, that's my preference. That's
our preference.
You know, that's my opinion. I'm not saying.
Y'all come in. Y'all
whatever.
come in the comments.
But that's all I'm saying. Maybe they could do a study on Apple.
Yes.
And their products. The ecosystem is wonderful.
Yeah. I would like to know how they came up with this ecosystem because it's perfect. You could listen, if little towns came together and just use Apple for everything, Apple for your cable, Apple for your phone, Apple for movie, we'd be straight.
We have Apple TV. Yeah. So I mean,
Wait, is Apple going to actually come out with a TV? Would they be wrong if they came out, like, you know how they have these smart TVs?
Right.
Samsung?
No.
Would Apple be wrong if they came out with an Apple TV?
No. You know what would make them wrong?
What would make them
if they came out with an Apple bicycle? Right?
Yep.
That's what would make them wrong.
I hope y'all got that analogy. If they came out with an Apple real TV, no problem.
No problem.
They came out with an Apple bicycle, we out.
That's it. So we just wanted to come and share this information with you. We really enjoy this podcast and the feedback that we do get, and we encourage it to continue to engage with us.
Yes, talk to us. Tell us what you want to see, what topics you want us to cover. We have been in this space for quite a while, and we love it. Right? We love talking about it because we're talking about it from experience. And when you see these notes, it's because we're bringing you facts.
That's it.
And we don't want to always go off this little noggin because I know I'll be forgetting.
Yeah, me too. I'm getting up there. These birthdays catching up with me.
Me too.
Anything else?
As always, let's support each other more in 2024.
That's right. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Business podcast, we run this town. From entrepreneurs to investors, we in the zone. Sharing knowledge, making moves, we a microphone. For the record, we got the facts. For the record, we run the tracks. We in the business, no time to play.
Thanks for watching,
For the
bye.
record, podcast.